What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast. We're about halfway through the season now, week 9. Other stuff going on in the sports world. I think the Texas Rangers won the World Series. I didn't watch an inning of it. I haven't watched an inning of any baseball since the damn. I ain't gonna get to that. Not sorry ass. Also NBA side, there's a in-season tournament that's starting today. Playing for the NBA Cup that's gonna be in December. I doubt my Wizards will win that, but we'll see what happens. But how y'all fellas doing today? We got Rashaad with us. He went to high school with us, everybody. Well, how y'all
What's
fellas doing today?
good, man? Ready for Sunday? I know my Heat ain't doing too good so far, but
Yeah, y'all
um,
play us today. Shit, we
yeah,
doing
we just
worse
on.
though, right?
All right, let's get to this opening drive, everyone. The Raiders, they fired their GM and head coach. Former Giants linebacker Antonio Pierce will take over the coaching duties on an interim basis. Of course, they play the Giants on Sunday, and Aiden O'Connell is set to start on Sunday over Jimmy Garoppolo. The Bears, they fired running backs coach David Walker over a behavioral issue. Joshua Dobbs, he's been tapped to fill the void of Kirk Cousins. Minnesota traded the journeyman earlier this week. Deshaun Watson, he's likely going to start on Sunday against the Cardinals. And we might also see the return of Kyler Murray as well. And on Ed's team, they clean house a little bit. Montez Sweat and Chase Young, they'll don new jerseys this weekend. Sweat was traded to the Bears, while Young is joining the 49ers. Do you want to comment on that, Ed, before we move forward?
Yeah, it looks like the new owner, Josh Harris, had a hand in this. He made a hire last week, hired a guy named Eugene Shin. He's going to be the senior vice president of football strategy. Apparently, he's like a big analytic type guy. So Josh Harris has got his hands on the team so far because they were saying that he uses analytics a lot in his other teams. I believe he's the owner of the 76ers too. But I thought we could have got a little bit more for Chase Young, honestly. But I was also read a report that they said he was picking up bad habits, like he would try to make plays, big splash plays, instead of following their whatever their strategy was. So I don't know, man. They're blowing it up. Seems like they go through this every 3 to 5 years. So we'll see how this goes with the new ownership. But yeah, what did y'all think? I was kind of shocked when it happened. You did say early in the week. I remember we were talking. You texted me like, yeah, they're thinking about trading, and I was like, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I was still shocked when it went down.
Yeah, I didn't think Sweat was going to get traded, but Young, it was kind of remember last year where they was kind of hush hush with the injury. It seemed like I told you I wouldn't be surprised if he played again last year. And I think
Yeah,
he did play one game at the end of the season. I'm not mistaken, or did he not come back? I can't remember. But kind of a short-lived time there in DC for a guy that came out was a local kid, right? I know they blew it up when he got drafted, but I definitely didn't see the Montez Sweat trade coming at all. I thought, if anybody, I thought they was going to get rid of Chase Young just because they was he was in the 5th year of his contract, final year.
yeah, and
Yeah,
they didn't get renewed a contract, so good luck to. I'm sure both of them. This is usually how it works with Washington sports. You get traded away, and then you have the best career ever. So I'm sure both of them will turn into Hall of Fame players, first team All Pro type shit. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, but honestly, do you think that they're trying to clean house though? I mean, you got a new ownership coming in there. They're seeing the things they don't like. I mean,
I
if you're
think
saying he
Ron's
has
gonna be
behavior
next to
issues,
go.
oh,
I think Ron's gonna be next to
yeah,
go.
I
And
agree with
Jack
that.
Del Rio, the
yeah.
defensive coordinator, JDR. I
Yeah,
think both of them will probably be the next to get the axe, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't
but
know.
real quick, did you hear something about Chase Young's father was starting some stuff where he said something? I just saw a headline. I didn't click on it, but did you hear something about
Nah,
that?
I didn't hear anything about that. I'll have to look that up.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought I saw something on Facebook or something. Somebody, a Commanders fan, said something about his father was starting something or something like that. But
Mm.
yeah, very,
Yeah, I'll have
very
to look that
interesting.
up. Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. All right, let's get into this Thursday night game last night. Titans at the Steelers. Brandon, you texted me before the game, Titans or Steelers, and it was kind of like a quick thought for me. I picked the Titans. I don't know why. I think I guess the Steelers offense the last couple of weeks has been awful. I play fantasy football. I got Najee Harris, who's been terrible for me, but he had a great game last night. Deontay Johnson, he also had a great game last night. He scored a touchdown. Some interesting news about a player on the Steelers, though. George Pickens, he didn't have his greatest game last night. They said he had like, I think, 2 catches for like -1 yard. He caught a touchdown pass, but he didn't get both feet in bounds. So he's been real upset, according to a report I read, that George Pickens, he decided to unfollow his quarterback and the coach and the Steelers, and he changed his profile picture from him and the Steelers to like him in high school. I'm like, damn, man, I won the game, but
Here we go.
that stereotype wide receivers being divas is definitely true.
Diva mentality, yes.
But back to the game itself. Kirk Herbstreit and a couple other guys on the production team, they mentioned that the OC for the Steelers, Matt Canada, he moved down to the field for the first time in his career, according to them, because he always up in the booth. I guess it worked out for Najee and Deontay Johnson. But I want to get to the Titans and how they play, especially Will Levis. He looks like he can play in the league from what I saw. He doesn't scramble too much. There was times where he would stay in a pocket, and I thought he could have took it off and ran. And there's other times he looked like a rookie still, or a young veteran, a young rookie player, where he took off instead of it was a goal line play in the second quarter, or second half, where if he waited a little longer, he could have had DeAndre Hopkins for a touchdown, but he decided to scramble at the goal line and get the play. But other than that, for a rookie, he played really well. I think he just won himself the job, even though it was a loss. The score was 20-16. It came down to the wire where Kenny Pickett and crew caught that. He threw a touchdown to Deontay Johnson, and they won the game. Unfortunately, there was an injury towards the end of the game. The Titans wide receiver, Treylon Burks, he tried to catch a pass, hit his head like a whiplash effect, and he had to get carted off the field. They did say he had extremities in all his body parts, so I hope he's doing better. But yeah, Steelers beat the Titans. Rashaad, who did you think would win this game, first of all? What did you think about it?
So honestly, I had the Titans. Titans. Not really a big Pittsburgh fan.
Same.
So, I kind of lean towards not really rooting for them, nor thinking they can get the job done. Tennessee has the weapons. They have the talent. But I guess, Pittsburgh decided to come play.
Yeah.
But like you said, their rookie quarterback that they got out there, the boy looks poised in the pocket to me.
Yeah, he does.
He's making throws that you would see a veteran. You can't really put a value on one game.
Right.
And you can't say what he's going to be for the next 10 or however long years, but he didn't look like he was a rookie right there. And of course, yeah, you got the L, but what kind of a win did you get from the amount of confidence you got going out there and doing what you did? And unfortunately, with the pick at the end, I mean, you're trying to win the game and you throw a pick. Some players that don't even get that chance to even make that final drive. So at least you went out there and put it on the line. So we'll see how it goes. And on the Pittsburgh side, you said their OC moved down to the line, right?
Matt Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if he needs to be down there getting that boy's face instead of just being in their ear, let him do it. And I mean, that's really the way I view on that one.
Yeah, it worked out for him last night. We'll see how it goes going forward. Brian, what about you? What you think, man?
Yeah, I saw that where Matt Canada moved downstairs onto the field, and they mentioned in another game this weekend. I don't know if the 49ers play this weekend or not, but Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator out there, he's supposed to do it as well. Apparently, they're having some issues out there in San Fran. But as far as this Steelers-Titans game, the reason why I texted you before the game is because all three of my guys in my league picked Tennessee.
Titans.
And yeah, and I went with Pittsburgh, and I was still undecided at that time. Like, I wasn't confident for the reasons we all talked about. The offense has just been horrendous this year. I think Freiermuth hasn't played much at all either. And,
he didn't play last night either.
Yeah, and it's just been a mess there for Pittsburgh. But they won at home. That's something they're very good there at prime time. I know Pat McAfee, we was watching a clip before we came on here. He talks about how when Renegade came on and kind of flipped the game. And we had that same issue when we played there 1 o'clock a couple weeks ago. They play at Renegade, top of the fourth quarter, and Pittsburgh shut us out in the fourth quarter. So this is what they do. Yeah. I don't think Malik Willis will be in Tennessee next year. I guess he's the backup right now. Tannehill should have been gone, and this should be the writing on the wall. Honestly, I think Will Levis would have to like completely funk it up before um, he's not basically going to be the starter next year unless they find somebody else in free agency or they feel as if they can get a good draft pick. But yeah, Will Levis should be the guy moving forward. And I see the Titans there 0-4 on the road. They bottom of the AFC South right now, 3-5. So yeah, I kind of thought Vrabel was on the hot seat coming in this year too. I know a lot of people didn't necessarily agree with me on that, but yeah, good game though for Thursday night. I know another thing, Pittsburgh had 4 turnovers or 4 or 5 penalties on that first defensive drive for them.
Mm-hmm.
It led to a Tennessee field goal, but that's really concerning. I know Tomlin probably got into those guys at halftime and after the game, despite the win.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. The first half, Will Levis came out there. He played better in the first half. That second half, Steelers made some adjustments, excuse me, and he was a little bit harder for him out there. I think they started put more pressure on him. So definitely, they were getting to the quarterback in the second half.
Gotcha. All right, so we're going to turn our attention to the Dolphins and Chiefs there in Germany. Big matchup. I believe both teams are 6-2. Chiefs coming off a huge upset loss at home against the Broncos, and the Dolphins have won their last game. Ed, what do you see in this one?
I wish this game was back in Kansas City just so we could see how the fans would see how Tyreek is and everything, how they boo or cheer, or would they attribute video or something like that. But to the game itself, this is a toss-up for me. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm kind of leaning towards the Dolphins right now, but Pat Mahomes out there, looks like I guess he was dealing with a stomach bug or something. Then he hurt his hand last week. So I don't know if he'll still have those effects going into this game. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I think Tyreek is gonna be like, y'all traded me or y'all got rid of me, and this is what's about to happen to y'all, about to put something on y'all ass. I think the Dolphins defense, they got Jalen Ramsey back. So I think he's gonna start making plays for them, helping that defense out. And yeah, I like the Dolphins at this one. What about you, Rashaad? How you feeling about this one, man?
It's gonna be a tough one for me because I normally lean towards Miami because they've been doing a lot of impressive things for me. Like they've been standing out. Excuse me. And the last game when Patty lost, I know he had the flu. They said the flu. But for me, I mean, he won a Super Bowl on one leg, so I don't know whether or not if he just was off his game, if it really got to him. But I know he's going to want to come back with a little bit of vengeance, though. So Miami's going to have a tough bout, but I do think Kansas City's going to pull it off. But I expect a shootout. I really do. Because Tyreek ain't going to sit there and go against his team and not show off.
Right.
But in the end, I do think the Chiefs are going to, I give it maybe a 3-point game. But it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, for me, I know all eyes going to be on Tyreek Hill going into this game, just like you said, Ed. But I'm definitely going to be watching Pat Mahomes in this Kansas City offense. Rashaad said they were not a factor last week against Denver. They had 5 turnovers. 3 of them were Patrick Mahomes. But the defense of Miami, though, they're no layover for sure. You talking about you got Ramsey back there, Phillips and Chubb still pushing up the middle. I think it'll be another long day for that reigning MVP and him. But Miami, though, you could talk about the run game. Raheem Mostert has 10 touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns on the ground. We always talk about the 2 guys out wide, and Waddle and Tyreek, but it's like kind of strange to see like they got it all together, passing game and run game dominant. Each game this season for sure, just about, except for maybe the 2 losses, of course. But the coaching matchup as well. You got Andy Reid and Mike McDaniels, 2 of the best offensive play callers in the league. So which one of those are not going to put their team in the worst situation might be the difference maker. I got to agree with Rashaad. I think Miami will definitely put up an effort. It's going to be a close one. but I got to go with the Chiefs. I think coming off that loss, Patrick Mahomes don't like to lose games. They rarely lose back-to-back games. It is a lot of travel, and that does play a factor into it, but I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one.
Gotcha. We will see what happens for sure. All right, we got a battle for the NFC East. The two top teams in the NFC East, the Cowboys at the Eagles. I got Brandon Cooks on my fantasy team, and they starting throwing the ball finally, and he's starting to get involved. I don't know though. This Eagles team, the last time the Cowboys, they played a team that was at the time really good. They got the doors blown off them when they played the Niners. So this is a toss-up for me. But at the same time, the Eagles defense the last couple of weeks has not looked the same. I believe Jalen Carter went out the last game when he played us, my Commanders. So I can see Dak having a good game. I can see CD went off last game, but I can see him and Brandon Cooks doing something. I like Jake Ferguson a little bit. He's not Dalton Schultz, but I like what I've seen from him. So I don't know. Something in my gut's telling me the Cowboys are gonna beat the Eagles. I think Michael Parsons is gonna be a game wrecker. He's gonna have a player or two that might decide the game. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I also think there's gonna be some scoring going on. Who's gonna make the turnover is usually Dak, but I have a feeling Mike is gonna make a play. Maybe he'll get a hit on the ball. It gets up in the air, and what's my guy named Stephon Gilmore, Deron Bland, who's coming in for Trayvon Diggs and play really well. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys in this one. Rashaad, I know you're a Cowboys fan, so who you got?
Yes, sir. I mean, it shouldn't even be a question. You already know. Come on now. Cowboys gonna take this. Honestly, everybody wants to compare when we played the 49ers. Yes, they have owned us, and I will admit that. They have owned us. But this is somebody that's in a division that we see twice a year. Mm-hmm. Somebody that we play tough. Somebody that Dak's had the best of. The Eagles struggle when they play against Dak. Dak owns them. He's owned the NFC East for a while.
Well,
hey, come on now. Dak, regular season, Dak is gonna do it. Now we're not talking
regular season. Okay.
Regular season.
I got you.
We use regular season games, but with the pieces finally coming together, going out and putting out a big dominant performance last week, they should be riding a little bit high. The Eagles, on the other hand, I mean, they're dominant, but let's be real. Some of them games have been very close. Mm-hmm. Coming down to the wire, very close. Or teams that you don't expect to come in there and just kind of oust them. So, of course, we're going to see a battle. It's an NFC East rival game. Two of the biggest teams right now, currently. I got the Cowboys winning, but I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I see a defensive game. I truly see a defensive game.
Gotcha.
And don't be surprised if their little tush push or whatever they want to call it up there.
Yeah,
could be the determining factor. Because we have a tendency to get people to fourth down. Like we'll shut them down, but we don't ever stop anybody when they go for them fourths. So if we get in a situation like that, that might be a little bit rough. But watch Dak go off, and Brandon Cooks, welcome to the Cowboys, because it's about that time.
I hope so. I got him on my fantasy team. I need every point I can get. So
hey,
let's see, Brandon.
He was a little banged up. Now he's starting to feel good. He's feeling himself. Don't worry, he got you.
All right.
When they say you call like Verizon or somewhere, and they say this call is being monitored and recorded. We just recorded you saying you're going with Dallas. Okay, so
I am.
We're gonna keep this one. So, me
personally,
I like the Eagles.
Hey, let it run.
I think Dak gonna be he's in for a long day against Hassan Reddick. I know you mentioned Jalen Carter. I think is he gonna play this week? I don't see him on the injury report. You said he went out last week against y'all.
I believe so, but I know he's been banged up. So
yeah, he's had himself a good season as well as Hassan Reddick for sure. On offense, though, they're taking a step back this year with Jalen Hurts, but A.J. Brown, he's just shy of 1,000 yards, continues to be a nightmare for defenses. There'll be somebody I'll be watching, as well as that tush push we mentioned as well earlier. The crowd there at the link, that's a whole different factor as well. Dallas, I think if they want to win this game, it's got to be on the arm of Dak Prescott and CD Lamb. CD Lamb, he had a monster game last week. He was my offensive ace of the week, 12 for 158 and 2 touchdowns, 2 straight wins for the Cowboys, and they both included big games for CD, including that, like I said, that 2 weeks ago for sure, but against the Chargers. I think Dallas, they could be lucky in this one as far as the turnover battle goes, because Philly's -3 on the season, which is surprisingly, very surprising for them. Because I know last year, like Jalen only threw 3 interceptions, and what does he have?
I
8
think
already.
8.
So, and 8 games. So that's definitely something to watch for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Birds at the link in this one. I think Cowboys will keep it close, but I got to go with Philly.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Rashaad, I'm gonna start with you. Do you think AJ Brown is going to have another game over 125 yards receiving?
I don't think so. I honestly don't.
Streak stops.
If you have Bland, I mean, if you have Bland lining up on him, I think he's gonna give him a run for his money. I wouldn't put Gilly out there though, because I mean Gilly's lost a step. I'm gonna be honest. I mean he's still nice with it, but he cannot run with them boys like he used to. Or Bland is a little bit more physical. He'll put his hands on you, so I don't think he will.
I'm gonna say no as well. I'm gonna say about 90 to 105. Yeah, I think he'll get his catches and everything, get his yards, but he'll definitely get in the end zone though. I mean, he's been getting in the end zone this year for sure. But yeah, I would say 90 to 105. So.
Gotcha.
All right, everyone. This episode is brought to you by Premium, a CBD and wellness company. Check out their full line of CBD infused products, which make great stocking stuffers for the upcoming holiday season. Perfect for athletes, weekend warriors, soccer moms, and even armchair quarterbacks. They have CBD infused honey, which is a personal favorite of mine, as well as tinctures and mint and regular flavor. Most importantly, they are veteran and women owned, so come get some of this sweet temptation and taste the premium difference. Use code BNE for 15% off your order. Their website is www.premium.com. That's PREHEMIUM.com. Again, PREHEMIUM.com. Now back to our show. Two of the league's best defenses will be on display Sunday in Baltimore. It's Seahawks and Ravens from the bank. Fasten your chin strap, Geno Smith. My guys are coming for you. We lead the league in sacks with 31, second in the league in total defense. I like us in this game, but the Seahawks, they're no slouches for sure. We're looking at a 5-2 record. They're 2-1 on the road. We saw how they came back last week against the Browns. Geno hit JSN for a 9-yard touchdown, less than a minute in regulation to get out of town to win in the dog pound. I've said it many times this year, we need to put these teams away when we got them, when we're up 7 to 10 points or more in the second half. And we've had issues with that. And I think we'll also struggle against DK Metcalf as well. I'm definitely prepared for him to go off against us. But hopefully, Geno Smith will throw an interception to Geno Stone, who's leading the league in interceptions. Our safety, he's kind of looking like Ed Reed this year. He's definitely doing his thing out there for sure. But yeah, I think this game will come down to one score. I believe it'll be on the leg of Justin Tucker there at the end of regulation, probably a minute or less. Very another close game as well in this one. Rashaad?
All right, so my lovely Ravens. Even though I'm a Cowboys fan, being from Maryland, I still lean on them. But unfortunately, I have a bad feeling the Seahawks are coming to play. It's something about it. Every time, my heart's hearts. Every time I feel like the Ravens, they should be able to take this one. They get a team that comes in there and they give them that work, unfortunately. And we're talking about a Geno Smith who, people wrote him off, but he's been on a comeback. Yeah. On a comeback to the point to where he's got teams that he needs to prove things against. And I feel like going against somebody like the Ravens who, in the offseason, he had Lamar's thing, so they kind of blew up. Why not go out there and beat them? Why not go out and put out a show? Plus, the Ravens are known for their defense. You want to be shown, go out there and show what you can do. So, I mean, I got an upset coming. I got the Seahawks winning.
This call is being monitored.
Let it be monitored and recorded. Like I said, run them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Ravens also going to have their hands full with Kenneth Walker and another guy, another running back, Zach Charbonnet, if I pronounced that
Okay,
correctly.
yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it depends on how the Ravens defense does against Geno Smith because he can have games where he can throw for like 350 and 3 touchdowns, or he can have a game where he throw for like 175 and 3 interceptions. So I can definitely see the Ravens defense getting after him, but at the same time, like you said, Brandon, DK Metcalf. They also got my guy Tyler the other wide
Lockett.
receiver names
Yeah.
escaping me at the moment. Sorry.
Tyler Lockett or JSN?
Tyler Lockett, yeah, Tyler Lockett. Yeah, so there's definitely some weapons on the Seahawks side. And then, like you said, both of these defenses are pretty good. So the Seahawks defense, the Ravens offense, it's been okay. I think in the last couple of weeks, they're starting to get better. Odell's been frustrated. He hasn't had a touchdown. Maybe this will be the game he finally breaks free. But that Seahawks defense, I think they match up pretty well with the Ravens offense. So I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards an upset, but you guys are at home. Lamar has that X factor, MVP quality type stuff. I think he eventually will make a play, he'll make something happen, do what he got to do, and the Ravens will get out of there. I think y'all might have to I think the Seahawks might jump out on you, though. I think y'all might have to play from behind and come back, but I do think y'all will pull away in the end. So I'm leaning to the Ravens, but I do think the Seahawks are coming. This ain't gonna be an easy one. Not at all.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into these other games for week 9. We got the Cardinals at the Browns, Bucks at the Texans, Bears at the Saints, Vikings at the Falcons, Rams at the Packers, Commanders at the Patriots, Colts and Frank Reich, or excuse me, Panthers and Frank Wright are going to be playing against the Colts, who was let go by the Colts last year. Giants at the Raiders. Antonio Pierce is coaching against his old team. That's kind of cool, crazy. Bills at the Bengals, another big matchup, and Chargers at the Jets for, I think that's the Monday night game, which I
Yeah.
might give the NFL another bonehead call it a week for that matchup and not flexing it out. But guys, I'm gonna start with Brandon. Which of these games are you gonna be paying close attention to?
Right off the top, Cardinals Browns looks like Kyler Murray might get the start there. Some people thought he might not come back this season. He'll be in the dog pound, very tough place to play against Myles Garrett. So I hope he's 100% out there, and I hope his line helps him because we all seen what Myles Garrett has been doing the last couple games.
And Deshaun's
Vikings at
playing
Falcons.
too.
What's that?
Deshaun's playing too. Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah, Deshaun Watson. Yep. So yeah, the two guys coming off injury will be back on the field. But looks like Sunday there in Cleveland. Vikings at Falcons. New quarterback for the Vikings. I know some of their fans. They've been wanting Kirk Cousins gone. Obviously not this way. We'll see as well on the opposite side of the field how Desmond Ritter perform. He's been up and down this season. That'll definitely be something.
Taylor Heineke, they benched Ritter. Taylor Heineke is going to be the quarterback.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So,
Ooh.
yeah,
Hey,
that's kind of crazy because he's like a third round pick like a couple years ago. So,
yeah.
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 But yeah, Taylor
Remember I said
Heineke's getting the start.
clock been ticking. That coach, he didn't make a move. His ass next too. Colts at Panthers. You mentioned Frank Reich plays coming off the first win for Carolina. They got a little bit of momentum on their side now, but then he'll be playing off against his former coaching against his former team. That'll obviously be very emotional for him. Giants at Raiders. You mentioned it again. Antonio Pierce playing against his former team, coaching against his former team. Sorry. He'll be an interim head coach. I wish him the best, but I don't know if that's the situation you want to be like, to get the interview and get the job, when this off season comes. We'll be talking about that more later in the season. Bills and Bengals, again, two pretty good teams here. Of course, it'll be an emotional one for the Bills. That's where they lost DeMar Hamlin last year. Of course, that game didn't finish. So this is a primetime matchup that we wanted to see last year. So we'll get to see it this year. Ed, Rashaad, let's start with you, Rashaad. Which games are you looking forward to?
I'm gonna pick up where you just left off. That Buffalo and that Cincinnati game. I think that's the biggest one I want to see. Not just for as a football fan, but emotional. Like I want to see the last time when y'all were there. Like it was a tragedy in a sense. So are y'all really gonna go out and put it all on the line, or are y'all going to disappoint? I mean, because are y'all gonna play soft? I want to just see how that's gonna be. Another one having two quarterbacks coming off of an injury with the Arizona Cleveland game. I really want to see what Kyler's going to do. I'm not the biggest fan, but I want to see, are you worth the money that you got? Are you ready? Can you get back out there? And also that Minnesota game is my boy going to be playing Dobbs?
I believe so.
Is Dobbs going to be playing?
That's a
Let
good
me look
question.
that up. I can't remember if he's playing or not. I
I
want to
would
say he
start
is
him
playing.
over backup because we don't even nobody know who the backup is.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if he's starting, he has a tendency to come in and play well to a new team that he hasn't been with.
Yeah.
We saw him in the playoffs where he literally left his car at the airport, jumped on a plane, and was out there playing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the kid's good, and for them to get him out there and knowing that Minnesota has the team, they just need the quarterback, and then your quarterback goes down. I mean, it's a perfect person to call, especially if Kyler's coming back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are really the ones I'm keeping an eye on. The rest, I mean, we'll see. We'll probably have a couple classics coming in there where curveballs we didn't expect to happen.
For sure.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs, he's going to be active. So I think they're going to go with the guy they already got in the house. I can't remember his name at the top of my head, but he's going to be active. So he'll play in case there's an injury, I believe. But games I'll be looking at, of course, the Bills and Bengals game. Definitely going to be checking that out. I want to see how the Raiders look with the new coach. I know I saw something that Hunter Renfrow was like, we're not walking on eggshells anymore. So the vibe is definitely different in the building. I saw a video of Devontae Adams. They put like a little hoop up in the locker room. So seems like they're they don't got a monkey on their back anymore. They kind of so maybe they'll have some fun and blow the Giants out. Daniel Jones is coming back off the 3 weeks with the neck injury. So we'll see how they look. I'm gonna watch that game. Red Zone's gonna. I watch Red Zone now. I don't watch the Commanders anymore. So if the game comes on, I'll watch some clips of the Commanders Patriots game. I'm sure. Let me check to see. I feel like we should be favored to win that game, but the way they play, man, I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots come out there and beat us. Oh, actually, wow, the Patriots are favored by 3. I'm not surprising. Not surprising at all. So yes, look at that. What other games I'm gonna be looking at? Definitely the Colts, Panthers. I got Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy team, and I'll be looking at this Bucks at Texans game too. I'm keeping an eye on a rookie quarterback, so I want to see how CJ Stroud looks, and if the Bucks will continue the downtrend or will they come back, bounce back, and get a win. But yeah, those are definitely the games I'm looking for. And I can't fail to mention we've been talking about Colorado most of the year. Just keep y'all informed. They play Oregon State tomorrow, and they made I want to say coaching change, but they have a new play caller. I can't remember the guy's name. He coached in NFL, but he was like
Yeah.
he was a part of the offense, but I can't remember. I think it was Shermer. I want to say his name, but he's going to be calling the plays now for Colorado. Hopefully, he can do something to make them block better. I don't know how much you can do with that, but yeah. Do y'all got any thoughts on Colorado and the Oregon State matchup at all?
No, I haven't even looked much at Colorado this week. I forgot all about the that, but I do know that he had a couple of former NFL coaches on the coaching staff. So is the previous play caller still on the staff, or he just fired them all together?
He didn't get fired. It just Pat Shermer. Yeah, Pat Shermer. He's gonna be the
the old Giants.
Yeah.
God, yep. That's why I can't block shit. Oh my God. Okay, well, that do make sense. Hold on, he's gonna be taking over, or
he's the co-offensive coordinator, and he'll be taking over play calling.
Oh, he's taking over. Okay.
Taking over play calling.
Still part of the issue because he was on the staff.
Yeah,
but yeah,
issues on the staff.
Issues on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Where is it at? Is it in Colorado?
I think it's in Oregon State. Let me
I just hope they don't get their ass beat like Oregon beat them. Oregon putting it on them.
Well, they're favored by Oregon State's favored by 13 points.
Oh,
So
poor
yeah,
Dino.
it's in Colorado.
I can't
Yeah.
wait for this. He
Hell
ready to
yeah.
get his dogs in there.
Oregon
You said
State's ranked 16th too, so it might be an ugly one, y'all. It might be ugly. They ranked 16th.
Yeah. We forgot to do our guarantee of the week too. You got one?
Let's my guarantee of the week. I'm gonna go with the let me see.
It's slim pickings this week, man.
I'm gonna go with the Saints over the Bears. My guarantee pick of the week.
Exactly where I was going to. We're gonna be agreeing on this one because it's really, I mean, it's like I don't know. I mean, the only other one
Oh,
I could
I see
possibly
one. I see one. Another one. Rashaad, you got a choice? I'll see one after. I'll say my second choice after Rashaad.
Well, I made my bold statement. Cowboys over the Eagles, baby.
Okay,
I'm
guarantee.
gonna put that out there. Put that energy out there.
sound like Shaq.
Put that energy out there.
I got you. Another guarantee. I think Chargers to beat the Jets.
That's what I was going with New Orleans over Chicago, and I said, well, if I had to choose, if I was forced to pick something else to be opposite you or not the same, yeah, Chargers over the Jets.
Yeah, I think Chargers over the Jets. But yeah. All right, everyone. Well, that's it for the this episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast. I want to thank Rashaad for coming on, taking the time out. And I want to thank everybody who watches. You see it on YouTube, comment, like, and subscribe if you can. But yeah, that's another episode of Breaking and Entering podcast. Have a good weekend, everybody. Peace.
All right, brother.
Peace.